It is looking like the very end. Let's get into it. Exclusive, baby. Diddy's LA, Miami homes raided by federal agents as a part of trafficking probe report. Diddy's homes in Los Angeles and Miami were raided Monday as a part of a federal trafficking investigation, according to Fox News. The raids were made by the Department of Homeland Security in Holmby Hills area of Los Angeles, according to Fox, who witnessed federal agents going into the home. The network also cited sources saying a Miami home owned by record label boss Diddy, real name Sean Combs, was also raided Monday. Views from over the LA home showed DHS agents conducting their raid while a number of people who left the house were detained by feds. The home is owned by a division of 54-year-old Diddy's record company, Bad Boy Entertainment, and one of his daughters, Fox reported. Both the California and Florida raids were led by Homeland Security Investigation, Human Trafficking Task Force, based on a search warrant was issued by the Southern District of New York, sources told the Post. The under fire rapper has been hit with 4 lawsuits accusing him of a historical abuse in recent months, all of which he has denied. It is unclear if the investigation is related to any of those accusers. Diddy, whose real name is Sean Combs, was hit with a scathing lawsuit last year from his former girlfriend, Cassandra Ventura, an R&B singer known as Cassie, who he dated from 2005 to 2018. She alleged years of abuse at Diddy's hands, only of the pair to reach a settlement the following day. The under fire rapper has been hit with 4 lawsuits accusing him of historical abuse in recent months, all of which he has denied. It is unclear if the investigation is related to any of those accusers. At least 3 other lawsuits followed, including one from a Jane Doe who alleged she was a 17-year-old 11th grader when Diddy invited her to his recording studio in NYC, only to ply her with drugs and alcohol so she could be violently gang tackled by the singer and his friends. Her suit was accompanied by a trigger warning because of its graphic content and included photos of the teens sitting on Diddy's lap and hanging out in the studio. She claimed the alleged abuse took place in 2003 while Combs vehemently denied it. "Enough is enough," he said in a statement through a rep back in December when the lawsuit dropped after previously saying he was being targeted with fabricated allegations for his fame and wealth. A third suit claimed Diddy and another took turns taking it from 2 women in the early 90s, while a third from Joy Dickerson claimed Diddy intentionally drugged her before assaulting her when she was 19 years old in 1991. Photos from the raids obtained by TMZ showed scores of heavily armed and armed officers while the streets surrounding the homes were closed and helicopters gathered overhead. Earlier today, Homeland Security investigators, HIS New York, executed law enforcement actions as part of an ongoing investigation with assistance from HSI Los Angeles and HSI Miami and our local law enforcement partners. We will provide further information as it becomes available, DHS reps told the outlet in a statement. Diddy's sons, 30-year-old Justin and 25-year-old King, appeared to have been cuffed by officers. At least 3 other people, a woman and 2 men, appeared to be apprehended by agents, according to TMZ footage. An attorney for Ventura, another accuser, expressed hope that the raids will begin bringing justice for the alleged victims. "We will always support law enforcement when it seeks to prosecute those that have violated the law," said attorney Douglas Windsor. "Hopefully, this is the beginning of a process that will hold Mr. Combs responsible for his depraved conduct." This is a developing story. Please check back for updates. Let's go.
Breaking news of this, as you can see, potentially law enforcement officials and other officials just outside of a gate, this on a street near the Beverly Hills area. Of course, we're following it very closely on Live Now from Fox. And of course, we were watching this. We didn't know exactly what we were seeing at the time. So this is just a little bit ago as you can see a crowbar to get through this gate initially as well. The long guns and a multitude of people. As you'll see, they'll zoom out a little bit just to see the amount of force they are using to get inside this home. And of course, the complex in which this home sits is a very expansive one for the American rapper and producer. You can see them checking inside of a vehicle. We don't know exactly what is involved, if Diddy's even there. We don't know a ton of information about this at all, but this was dramatic video coming in of the Los Angeles home there, raided by Homeland Security. Some of those images there on the backs of them. We also saw other images. I want to kind of quickly move to what else we saw as people were led away, potentially in custody. Don't know who these individuals are, if they're related to Diddy in any way, but you can see them. A dramatic video from our Sky Fox team there in Los Angeles as we continue to cover this. And our Fox 11 team is there on the ground right now as we speak. Let's take you out to some of their coverage here as we follow this developing story out of Los Angeles.
And then detain those 3 people inside. We haven't seen any signs of P. Diddy himself. Again, we're hearing that he is possibly in New York, but several people inside the home that will surely be questioned. Very chaotic scene when all of this happened. Lots of neighbors wondering what's going on, of course, and we'll keep you updated. But it's definitely going to be quite a scene here for the remainder of the day.
Yeah, when you see this number of law enforcement agencies coming together, making this type of raid to such a big, high-profile mansion like this, in a neighborhood like this as well, this is very thought out, methodical, planned out for days. So they base this on a number of information gathering that they've received and evidence or what they're looking for. So clearly this is not something they do lightly. They really go through the process of making sure that everything is ready before they conduct a raid like this. So yes, this took a lot of planning for all these multiple agencies to come together to actually now conduct a type of raid like this, as you're seeing right now with this street also shut down for the time being, because Haley, you could see the perimeter has been set up in that neighborhood to keep just the public back from the work that's being done. And there you have the shot from Sky Fox. Again, these heavily armed vehicles right next to all those luxury cars. You already see a Porsche, a G-Wagon, so many luxury cars right there on that property. So it is a very differing juxtaposition there of what you're seeing. But look at this mansion here in Holmby Hills where the raid is taking place. Again, we don't know what exactly they're looking for, who they're looking for, but again, this could possibly be linked to a sex trafficking investigation involving rapper Sean Combs, the music executive. But as you heard from Haley right there, she believes, and she's been hearing, that we do not think that Sean Combs is on that property at home right now. He may be in New York as this raid is being conducted. But we do know from our reporting that over the course of the year already, just as early as March this year, there have been several lawsuits filed against Sean Combs. So clearly this could be part of it. We are not sure at this point. But again, Stu, if you could hear me, what are you seeing right now in terms of your point of view?
Well, again, we saw some of those officers right there at that one of the back houses. They did bring a ladder in. They actually went out and brought that ladder into that property. You see it right there, and then they brought another ladder. So there's probably something inside this building right here that they are very curious about, or they were, like you said, it was very well planned. They knew they were going to need that ladder to make access. So there is something inside this piece of property in the back, as one of the back houses, that they have been very interested in getting at. We haven't seen them bring anything out. At one point, I can say, and when I keep saying that we didn't see them bring anything out, we did see them bring out what looked like a big plastic bin, but I don't know if that was something that they had brought in with them as far as possible tools that they needed. But that was the only thing.
Let me do it this way, because I know I'm not supposed to say this. The black man in me says something is wrong. Why is it that all of this popped up as soon as he said he was going to sue the biggest alcohol distributor in America? Why is it when he got ready to put out lawsuits against all these people that owed him money, and he started talking about more buying power, more media buying power, and all of this stuff? Why is it then? Why is it when the major purchases and major money are about to hit that all of a sudden trouble just comes down? But then I think about Diddy's actions. I think about how he takes advantage of all of his artists. I think about all the bad contracts that he signed. I think about all the bad positions that he put a ton of people in. Granted, you grown, you do it on your own. You should be knowing what you're signing up for. You should always get a lawyer to look at any signage of major contracts like that. But sometimes these record execs, they still have people and lawyers that will absolutely screw you over. Now, with that being said, that's the conspiracy in me. But the practical person in me says you should have never in your life, and I mean never, sat up there and said, all right, I'm going to settle out of court with old girl Cassie. See, once you did that, see, she filed her lawsuits in 2 different states. Just because she filed it in those states and she got it thrown out of the state courts never means that the feds can't double back. See, the thing about cats like Diddy is, and this is what I would say to a lot of y'all, if you do a crime, it's ultimately really the DA who decides to pick it up. I don't care what anybody get on here and say, oh, this, oh, that, and everything. The DA, the district attorney, is the one who decides ultimately. So, let me give you what I believe happened, and I damn near be willing to bet money on it. Diddy is so goddamn dumb that he didn't realize the contract in which she was going to sign was not going to stop the floodgates because she already went public with it. And it 100% got the eyes of the feds. The feds come when the goddamn state drops something. You remember what happened with Boosie? Remember Boosie got out there and was dancing and all that and doing the stanky leg, and then the feds came and got him. Remember with C-Mac? When C-Mac basically walked out of that state court and then the feds turned around and picked him up? Remember that part? They say when the feds come, they know something. We've seen Donald Trump get arrested. We've seen Harvey Weinstein get arrested. Please do not believe that this is going to stop. Please don't believe that. We've seen Bill Cosby do about damn near 4 years in the pen. Basically signed a deal that said, I did it, but y'all can't prosecute me for it, and they turn around and still prosecuted him for it. So, with that being said, bruh, the man in me, the defender in me, the lover of women in me says have at it. Because one thing that I know and 2 things is for certain, that man who settled probably was pressured into settling any damn ways. You got to remember, Cassie not only sued Bad Boy, she sued all the people involved with Bad Boy, which means his bosses. Diddy has always had bosses or partners. They said that his LA home was owned by the record label and his daughter, which means what? Diddy must have known in one instance or something like that, that bruh, it could go up from here. Now, what I want to understand is, where the hell is Diddy at now? Just because they raid your home doesn't mean they have an arrest warrant. Remember when Trump got his home raided in Mar-a-Lago by the feds, and they turned around and they took his stuff, and this moron gonna say, they broke into my safe. Yeah, that's probably the first place you should look. So what do I think they are looking for? I think more than likely what they did was they took some doggone laptops, some photos, some anything that they can get their hand on that may seem to have a plethora of some damn information. Added with trying to find guns and drugs. See, it's not the raid that we might get you in for what we came there for. It might be what we find later. So, I don't know if Diddy is that stupid enough to have drugs and guns in the house, but it wouldn't surprise me if he has them in any. Because if they find guns and drugs in that New York house, that's automatically 3.5 years. Do we ultimately know? No, we don't. I'm going to tell you like I told y'all years ago. They're going to try to bankrupt him the same way they are doing to Trump. They're trying to bankrupt Trump. They're not trying to really get him up out the paint. They're really 100% trying to bankrupt. So, we'll see. If Diddy starts to settle lawsuits, it's just going to look bad. But at this point in time, he has to settle lawsuits that says that people are not going to show up when subpoenaed by the feds. But it seems as though the feds are 100% going to subpoena Cassie, and she's going to be taking that stand once he is arrested. Give it about 3 weeks, and we'll find out what's ultimately going to happen. Share to keep your people aware. Subscribe, turn on the bell, stay notified. I'll be dropping my YSL video tomorrow. Holy smokes. Bruh, the amount of gems that got dropped today. Whoo! Ric Flair voice.